Crowden campsite, Crowden Youth Hostel, I think. Looking up towards Laddow rocks just behind those trees, and then looking up at this bloody savage steep little walk we have to do just to get up onto the shoulder. That's Laddow rocks in the distance, and that's the way we come down that slope. That's looking up towards the first false summit of Black Hill. When you get onto the top of there, you think you've made it, but you haven't. There are peregrine falcons that nest on that little outcrop there. Possibly make out the white spot in the centre of the frame. The nest is just above that. So this is the top of the first false summit. We've walked up that way, and you can just make out the top of Laddow rocks over there somewhere. And we're approaching the area of peat bog that goes on for about 2 or 3 miles to the top of Black Hill. 30 years ago, when I first came on this walk with my dad, even though this hill just over to my right is called Whitelow, it was all just black peat, and all this grass has been spread by helicopter, which we've probably heard one earlier on. That's Black Hill over in the distance. It was Home Mast television mast. There's a possibility of just seeing a cairn, which is not the top of Black Hill, but it's near it. Near the top of Black Hill we get into the so-called hag. These sort of deep peat channels that the path runs through. Sometimes it's hard to find your way there. And my lunch spot will be over there on the top of that little crag. It's over there somewhere. Laddow rocks. I can't understand why this beautiful cairn has been built here. It isn't the highest point, and Black Hill trig point is over there. Possibly because this is quite a hard place to navigate to, or it used to be when it was all just peat bog. The other alternative is it might have been the site of one of the dozens of crashed aircraft that exists since the Second World War. Don't know. That was the Black Hill trig point, and then now there's miles of this bloody stone paving all the way to the bottom of the hill, well, all the way down to the Col. There's some more land rescue renovation work going on Nutmore over there. In fact, if you can see it, I walked underneath that helicopter on Sunday last, because it was parked on the ground. That's the path down from Black Hill. It's quite big expanse of moorland, this. And there it goes on down to the bottom, and then back again to the high point, which is Laddow Rocks, where I will be having my biscuit. There's a bit of erosion there. If you were walking the Pennine Way and you saw that there were streams en route and you thought you were going to be able to drink the water, you'd be in for an awful surprise when you look at it. It's full of iron. extremely unpleasant to drink. But I know that down there is a stream with beautiful, clear, fresh, sweet water running through it. Okay, this is the headwaters of the valley that runs down to Crowden, where I started off. It's rather a nice little stream, this. I don't think it's drinkable, but it's attractive. This little path actually gets quite narrow with a steep drop off it. Makes me a bit vertigo-ish just about there. I'll fall down into that stream. It's a lovely stream. Good pool for a bathe there. Good God, and there's somebody up on the moor up there, where there's no path. Dreadful place to be walking. Must be out of his fucking mind. This is the headwaters of the valley that runs down to Crowden. That's a very attractive little outcrop of rock that's quite inaccessible, really, because you've got to climb up an awful long way to get to it. Crowden's down there with, I think that's Kinder Scout in the far distance. I'm about a quarter of a mile short of Laddow Rocks, where I was going to have lunch and my biscuit, but there it is, that's the biscuit. Normally I would have walked along up that ridge along there to the top of Laddow Rocks, which are there, but I've made a probably silly judgment error and gone on the old 50-year-old footpath, which seems to not exist. And that's Crowden Youth Hostel, just visible down there. As I said, I know the stream that runs this sweet water, one of the few in the whole of the South Pennines. It's absolutely gorgeous. What a lovely day. So I started to walk up to that upper quarry, or along the bottom of that upper quarry, and up onto that far skyline. And I'm finishing it down this footpath here, underneath the cliff where the peregrines nest. So we went up there, over the back there, that was the first false summit, way around the back of this big lump here, and back down over Crowden.